When you're creating your AutoCAD title block, you need to ensure that you have the appropriate layers to put your title block objects onto, and also appropriate layers for people who might use that particular title block. So you might need layers that they need to start drawing on immediately. You can add other layers as you go, but it's always good to have a base set of layers in any AutoCAD title block that you create. So what we need to do is go to the Home tab on the ribbon, into the Layers panel here, and we use this icon here, the Layer Properties Manager. So when we click on the Layer Properties Manager there, you'll see that we've only got the one layer, which is the Layer 0 there. And that's the default AutoCAD layer. You cannot delete the Layer 0, you cannot rename it either. You can change its color, and you can freeze it and thaw it and switch it on and off and lock it and unlock it, but you cannot get rid of it. You do not want to draw everything and anything on the Layer 0, so we need some new layers. Now here's a little trick with layer naming. When you click on New Layer here in the Layer Properties Manager, it prompts you for the first new layer, and by default it calls it Layer 1. Now we're going to create a title block eventually, so put your caps lock on. I always put layers in capitals. That's my personal preference, it's up to you, but they do stand out better in the Layer Properties Manager. So we need a title block layer, like so. Now, I'm not going to press Enter and set the color of that layer. I'm going to press the comma key. That automatically creates another new default layer. So, I'm going to need title text. So that's another layer I'll need. I'll also need, I'll press the comma key again, a points layer. Now that will be looked at later on as we work through the exercises in this particular section. And what we'll also need as well is a regular text layer for regular text on the drawing. We'll need an objects layer for objects on the drawing as well. You can see these are just base layers, regular layers. Now another layer you'll need is a layer called viewports. You always put your viewports in the layout tabs on a separate layer. So we've got there viewports, objects, text, points, title text and title block. That's enough layers to be going on with right now. Or is it? We need one more. Comma key again, we need dimensions. Now I always shorten that to dims for short. It stands out, it's easy to recognize. Then press Enter. Now we need to set the colors for our layers. Now I'm just going to use some standard colors that I use regularly. So dimensions there, I click on the color white and my dimensions are normally red, so I OK that. Now you'll notice there's viewports there, click on the color white again. My viewports are normally a dark color, blue, on the white background in the layout tabs, and I'll OK that. Objects, I'm going to go for a green color there. You can use any color you wish, but green is normally a good color on the dark background in the model tab. And text, I always tie that up with my dimensions, so I make that red as well, so it's all consistent on a drawing. Points, well, we're going to use those primarily in the layout tab, so there needs to be a nice bright color. I'm going to go for a pink that stands out on both a white and a black background, color 210 there. And then the title text and the title block, you need those to be the same color. I'm going to go for an orangey color here, this one here, which is color 20. And I'll do the same again for title block. I'll also make that color 20, which is that orangey red there. So now I've got my layers, I've got my colors there for my layers as well. Now line types wise, we don't need to worry about any changes of line type. They can remain as continuous. And also line weights, they can remain as defaults as well there. So we've now set our layers. Now the one thing you do need to do if you're creating a title block is to have the title block layer as the current layer. So just double click there to the left of title block. That makes that the current layer by putting the green tick next to it. And you'll notice there as well, AutoCAD has nicely and neatly put our layers in alphabetical order for us as well. So you've now set your layers in preparation for creating your title block in AutoCAD.